We are Rooted Botanics, a natural dye company with an emphasis on sustainably sourced and medicinally dyed vintage clothing. Giving life to worn and used vintage through natural plant dyes, we are getting back to nature by immersing ourselves in the multifunctionality of herbalism while also working to preserve the artisanal tradition of natural plant dyes. Our mission is to forage and sustainably source our dye plants from indigenous farmers and herbalists globally that have ancestral roots in medicinal plant dyes. From Ayurvedic techniques in India to Japanese shibori, the medicinal use of natural plant dyes is a global trade that has been in practice for thousands of years.
When we first began our natural dye journey, we were amazed at how many of our locally foraged materials had a medicinal component. We were gathering nettles, eucalyptus, elderberry, and pomegranate, to name just a few of the plants our Southern California landscape has to offer. As we started witnessing the parallels between other popular dye materials such as turmeric, chamomile, mushrooms, and indigo, it prompted us to look at each dye material from a comprehensive view and treat each garment as a mechanism to heal and infuse our lives with herbal goodness. We want to show people that when dyed with intention, their clothing can act as a calming agent, a bug repellent, and even assist with insomnia and skin disorders. Similar to how herbalists blend tinctured remedies, we want to infuse our dye baths with a specific objective in mind.
Natural dyes have been used to color textiles for thousands of years and were revered for far more than just their rich and widely ranging color palette. By partnering with indigenous farmers globally, we are able to support and honor the rich history of natural dyes and help preserve the cultures from which this art originated. As a conscious apparel company, we are committed to minimizing our environmental waste by utilizing vintage pieces and clothing that have been discarded due to minor color defects or stains. We extend the life cycle of a garment by overdyeing it with materials that are not only unthreatening to the environment, but are actually beneficial to the person wearing the clothing. Furthermore, natural dyes do not adhere to synthetic fabrics, therefore negating the use of microplastics altogether.
Rooted Botanics is at the unique intersection of self-expression, traditional herbalism, and sustainability. The Mountain Rose Herb Grant would allow us to complete our Rooted Botanics studio space with drying racks, cutting boards, and difficult-to-access medicinal herbs. This grant would help us to procure our plant materials in a way that supports our core values. Rather than order from larger online distributors, we want to plan a sourcing trip to establish lifelong relationships with farmers and artisans alike.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Allie, and together we are Rooted Botanics, a naturally and medicinally dyed apparel and vintage company.
We are committed to sharing the medicinal history of natural dyes through our apparel company, which rebirths worn, damaged, or stained vintage into beautiful pieces of clothing that transcend one garment's life cycle.
With the core philosophy of giving more than we take, we want to build a business that utilizes and celebrates the history of natural dyes and herbalism through the expression of fashion.
By wearing clothing infused with medicinal plants, we are connecting ourselves with nature and carrying it into our day-to-day lives with ease.